Hey, what's up guys, the Beast Frenchie here, and I'm back with a brand new video, and today I wanted to talk about what happened during off-season for Montreal, at least this far. So yeah, let's get right into it. So first, Montreal traded away Lars Eller to the Washington Capitals, and they received, I believe, like, what was it? Draft picks. It was draft picks, and then we traded away also some more draft picks for Andrew Shaw. So yeah, I thought that was a really good trade for Montreal. That guy gives his 100% every single time he's on the ice, so it's always nice to have those guys in your locker room. So yeah, pretty much a really good trade. Then we signed him for 4 or 5 years, something like that. So really good trade there. I don't know where he's going to play, though. I've seen some people saying third line or second line. Somewhere around there. I really hope Michel Therrien doesn't put him on the fourth line. Because if he does, well, he's kind of a dumbass. I don't know if because he even played with, I think it was Taves or Kane in Chicago. So, yeah, he should not play on the fourth line in Montreal. So then, there was that Weber and Subban trade, which I made a video on already. So if you want to know what I thought about this trade, go check that out. But I pretty much thought that we did a good job with this trade on short term. And yeah, pretty much it. Go watch the video if you want to know my full opinion about that. But then let's talk about the interesting stuff that happened since all those signings that Montreal did. And yeah, in my opinion about those. So, we signed Paul Montoya for 1 year at $950,000. So that's a lot of fucking money. But, yeah, not for an NHLer. So, he will probably play. That's my main question about this signing right there. Is he going to play as the backup or as the third goaltender? And if he does play as the backup, what happens with Mike Condon, right? I've got both of their, like, not stats, but what they did last year. Last year, Al Montoya played 12 games, played a total of 21 games. Well, that he won 12, lost 7, and lost 2 in overtime. And Mike Condon won 21, lost 25, and lost 3 in overtime. But I think it's not fair to compare them, because since Montoya is 5 years older, and also he has more NHL experience than Mike Condon. Mike Condon was at his first NHL year last year, and I have to say he did a good job for his first year. But yeah, definitely need a better. He's going to be a good backup, but he was not the guy to be put as #1 goalie. And in what I think is the worst place to play if you're a rookie, because it's so stressful to play in Montreal. A lot of players said it, because obviously the fans love the game so much, right? It's like the religion here in Quebec. So I think the pressure got to him a little bit. But yeah, because as the year was like progressing, by the end of the year, where we knew that we wouldn't make the playoffs, he started to play a little bit better. I don't know if I'm the only one who noticed, but when the pressure dropped, because obviously we knew that we weren't going to make the playoffs, the pressure dropped and he started to play a little bit better. So I think the pressure really what's got him. Yeah, so that's it for that signing. What I think will happen is that Montoya is going to be the backup goalie, and Condon's going to go back to the minors. And no, I don't think we're going to trade Zachary Fucale. Well, I hope not, because this guy, in some years, Fucale can come in Montreal and be the backup to Carey Price, because one day, I think he will replace Carey Price, right? Be our goalie of the future. He's not going to be as good, but he will learn from Carey Price being his backup one day. Well, I hope that's what happens. I hope that he learns from Carey Price, and obviously it can only be good for Fucale to play as a backup for the best goalie in the world, right? So yeah, that's pretty much my opinion about that. We should not trade Fucale. We should keep him. And yeah, I really think that one day he can replace Carey Price. Obviously, not now, because Carey Price is just the best goalie in the world right now. But in let's say 5 or 6 years, he's going to start to maybe decline a bit. So yeah, that's my opinion about that. Radulov, that's the most interesting signature for Montreal that happened. So Radulov 1 year, 5.75 million. That's a lot of money, but for only 1 year, right? So that's really good. That's an excellent deal because look at it this way. If this guy is really serious about coming back into the NHL, he will give his 100% to make more money to play in the NHL, basically, to make more money when he plays in the NHL, when he signs his contract next year. If it's not with Montreal, he's still gonna get a lot of money if he plays good. But if he's playing terrible this year, he's not going to be able to make a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure that money is a good motivation for this guy. So I think this year is going to try his hardest so he can get that contract, right? That huge contract. But let's talk about him. He is more than a point per game in the KHL. Every single year he's played there. In the NHL, he was like 60 point a year season, so not in his prime though, before his prime. A bit before his prime, he was like 60 point a year when he actually played, because he did not play for long, but it was good. So what I'm expecting from him this year, if Michel Therrien lets him play where he belongs, which is, I don't want to say like first line, but second line for sure, he will have a good season if he gives it 100%, because that's one thing with this guy. If he doesn't want to play, he's not going to play, but if he wants to play, he can be a really, really good player, right? But I think that since, like I said, he wants to get that contract, he's going to play his hardest. Well, I hope. That's what I hope, at least. So, yeah, I think that was a good signing. I don't know why people are complaining about that. Even Radulov said that he's not the same guy that played here some years ago. I don't even remember exactly, but when he played with the Preds, he's not the same guy that hit his coach. He said that he's a different man. He has kids now. He wants to be a role model for them. That's at least what he said. So I don't think that is the same guy. And yeah, I think that's a really good signing because Montreal needed that top 6 scorer. We got him. People are still complaining. What are you going to do? All right, so next, these are some minor signature. Zach Raymond, 2 years. Samuelson and Chris Terry, both 2-way deals. So they're going to play in the AHL because we let some AHL players go. Also, I'm not going to name all of them, but yeah, some minor signatures. And then another interesting signature was Sergachev for 3 years at less than $1 million, a little bit less. But that's like every rookie. The same contract that every rookie gets, basically. So 3 years. And one thing that's interesting about this is he NHL ready now? My opinion about this is probably not, but I'm not the best. I'm not the best person to talk about this. Even his coach, right? His coach in the Habs training camp said that he could be NHL ready for next year, right? So we never know, but I don't think he can play NHL next year. Well, if he does, that's really great, but I don't think that's gonna happen. What I think will happen is going to go back to the CHL 1 year and maybe after. But yeah, I don't think that we should rush him. I think that we should take our time with this prospect because he looks really, really talented, and I think he's going to be the replacement for Andrei Markov. So I don't think we should rush him. If he's really ready, then he can play, but I don't think we should give him his chance just yet. Just make him progress in the CHL a bit. So yeah. Then I want to talk about what will happen next season. What kind of season are we going to have next year? Well, I think that Montreal can have a really good season because last year what really killed us was injuries. Our top, I want to say even our top 3 forward in Gallagher got injured. So that's never good. Our goalie, which is, let's say it, the main piece of our team, got injured. So you got 2 of your main components of your team injured. That's not good. You can obviously not be as good with 2 major components of your team injured. It's just not gonna happen, right? So I think that without injuries, Montreal is actually a really good team. And with those trades we made, we're only improving. Because let's be honest, Montreal, the season we had last year was not was not exactly a reflection of what Montreal really is. Let's be honest. They're not a cup contender just yet. Well, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say that they are, but obviously as a Habs fan, I'm super biased about that. But I think that we can kind of have a good shot, right? Because when our team was all healthy, we made the Stanley Cup Finals. No, not the Stanley Cup Final, Eastern Conference Final, right? And, well, our goaltender got injured 1 year because, I don't want to say because of Kreider, but, like, injuries, that's what killed us during that last run for, not the last one, the last time we got into Eastern Conference Final, we just lost because we were terrible against Tampa Bay. I don't want to make excuses, we just lost. Tampa Bay was the better team, but the year that Price got injured, you never know. Right, if Price wasn't injured, so injuries, that's still what killed us. But for the most part, I think that Montreal, without injuries, are a really good team and that they could make it to the Stanley Cup Final. I don't think that I'm the only one who feels this way. People are gonna, Habs haters are still gonna say that, oh no, Montreal is not a good team. They can't make the playoff. They can't even make the playoffs. But I don't think that's true. If you really know hockey, you know that Montreal isn't like a bottom 10 team. They're more like a top 10 in my opinion, or maybe not top 10, let's say top 15 team in the NHL. But obviously, in my opinion, Montreal's going to make the playoffs next year, maybe going to second round, Eastern Conference Final if they're playing really good, but I don't think we're ready just yet for a Stanley Cup. Let like 1 or 2 year of like experience and growth to Gallagher, Galchenyuk, and then I think we would have our shot at the cup. But I think that Montreal can actually get a cup in the next 3 or 4 years, maybe. Anyways, that's only my opinion. I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree on this one, but I don't think we're as bad as a team that it looked last year, and I think now's the time to prove that we're not a bad team, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. And before I go, I want to say that the thumbnail for this video was actually been made by a friend of mine. So if you want thumbnails, I'll put thumbnails or even artwork. He does that also. I'll put his channel link in the description. You can leave a comment on one of his videos. I know he speaks in French, but he understands English. So leave a comment if you want a thumbnail or something. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.
Zone to zone to Subban. Oh, that's another solid hit. He's going to be thinking twice about the end of this game.
Montreal's leading this game because they've been so aggressive. They've not given their opponent any room to create anything with the puck.